Kristina Ross.
Hello, everyone. I am big on presentation. I believe first impressions mean everything, and I spend a lot of time focused on that first impression. So I'm going to tell you guys about this car. In 2017, I bought my first brand new car. It wasn't exactly the car I wanted, so I was a little bit pouty about it, but once I got over my attitude, I fell in love with my car. I took great pride in it. I made sure it was always clean, always upkept, and most importantly, presentable. I loved that car, and I took pride in that car until I made a mistake with that car. I made a mistake in that car, which resulted in quite a large gouge in the side of that car, and I hated it. I hated it, I hated it, I hated it, and I couldn't cover it up. I couldn't get rid of it. It was my fault, so my insurance wasn't going to cover it, and I didn't have the money to just pay to fix this dent, which ruined 2 doors on my car. So I lied about it. That was my next solution. Let me lie about it and make it so it's not my fault. So now I have this scar on my car that I can not hide, so I'm just going to make a new story up about it. And I told that lie about my car over and over and over again until at this point, when I think about that car and I think about that scar, I remember the lie. And eventually, I replaced the car because as soon as that scar appeared, the car lost all value to me. I no longer took pride in it. I no longer was proud of it. It was something to get rid of. And as soon as I could, that's exactly what I did. I got rid of my car. So now I have a brand new car. It's beautiful, no scar. But that feeling of wanting to hide something didn't go away. I still felt that need to be presentable. That need that if one thing should come up, I know I would get rid of this car too. And I started thinking about that, and I realized I do exactly the same thing with myself. The second I make a mistake, the second I do something wrong or am hurting, I cover it up. And if I can't cover it up, I lie about it. And what that turned into over the course of my life is a very well-crafted mask. A mask that I've kept in place for years. It's perfectly composed and perfectly controlled. And I didn't even notice that I was wearing this mask until I was having a conversation with Sam, and he asked me something painful, and he asked me, "Why are you wearing a mask? Why are you smiling when you're in pain?" And until that moment, I didn't realize the implication of what I was doing. And I began to challenge myself, and Sam began to encourage me to take off that mask and to be myself. And I was so afraid that if I took it off, that I would lose the people around me, that I would lose support, and I would be vulnerable, and I would be, by myself. But the really cool thing is as soon as I took off that mask and I let my scars show, and I let myself be vulnerable, instead of turning away from me, people are turning to me, and they're protecting me, and they're covering up my weak spots and the parts where I need support. And so now I've learned to ask for help, and I've learned to take off my mask. And I would challenge each of you to take off yours as well.